Hi there, welcome to Light Fruit Academy. My name is Pheello Ntuka, and today I'm very excited to be sharing with you one topic that is very close to my heart, and that is simply understanding personal development. Because my belief is that personal development is more about setting the foundation. It's about making sure that we lay the foundation for our children, in fact for us as well, even for us as well as parents and professionals. Part of what makes us to be better is because of we continue to learn, we continue to develop ourselves. One of the key things is something that I call the identity stage. This is something that we need to make sure that our children understand. That is how they identify themselves. Identity is very important. They have to know who they are. They have to understand their potential, and a lot of other stuff that I'll be touching on today's video. All right. So, what is this personal development that I'm talking about? It's simply about understanding who you are. I'm talking about your inner world. I'm talking about your self-image. I'm talking about self-talk, the things that you are telling yourself. If you keep on telling yourself negative stuff, by default you start feeling negative, and then start thinking negative, and that obviously affect your actions. So this is very important, because it's self-talk, self-image. If you see yourself as somebody who's not successful, who's not maybe who's poor, or maybe who that person that people don't love, that is self-image. The image that you have in your mind affects everything around you. Very important. Your mindset, self-control, the thing that I call philosophy for success, your guiding system for living. How do you deal with certain things? Stuff like the things that you're supposed to do and the things that you are not supposed to do, and your friends. Who are the people that you associate yourself with? Relationship. Sometimes you have to make rules about your relationship, to say you prefer to build relationship with certain type of people, and maybe move yourself away from certain types of people. Personal growth also very important. So up to this point, you can see that personal development is quite big. It's quite big. My parent, my dear student. So, and then the key thing is knowing where you are going. So if you know where you want to go, in other words, remember, life is like a journey, and then we all have a destination that is somehow waiting for us, that we want to get to. But we need to know where you want to go. That is the vision. In other words, you have to have a vision of the direction that you want to take. So that is very important. The second part is taking the right steps to get there. So now that is the strategy, your strategy to get there, your plan, your goals, all those things under this umbrella that I call personal development. Very important, my dear parents and the young ones. And another thing that is very important that I also want to share, which means now personal development, it simply means it's all about setting goals that matter to you. Some people, they live a life without goals. They wake up in the morning not knowing anything that they will have to do. They wake up in the morning, but they don't have a clue on just one task that is very important for them that they have to do. So some people, they live like that, and that is very I think that is something that we need to make sure that our children are not affected by this. They have to have goals, short-term goals, medium goals, and long-term goals. Very important. And that is, you cannot talk about personal development without touching goals. Very important to understand the goals. Learning new skills. If you know me by now, you will probably understand that I keep on talking about learning new skills. Learning, that is now chapter 4 of my book, continuous learning. Very important that we learn, because if we learn, we grow. The moment you stop learning, unfortunately, that is when you stop growing. So we need to continue learning, and this is something that I encourage our children to always make sure that they learn. Our children are afraid of reading. You can see behind me here, I've got a lot of books. Like my book here, The Path to Light. I always talk about my book, my book, The Path to Light. You can always let me know if you want a copy of your book, and I'll leave a link in the description in case you want your copy. It's a personal development book. It's a self-help book. Very, very important, because there's some of the stuff that I'm talking about right now, you'll definitely find them in this book, in my book, The Path to Light, right? Okay, and then in managing your emotions. Hey, this is quite big, because we live in that world where somebody can just, mess your day up, mess your day, and they, say some things that are negative, and then you start feeling down. Some people they just find fascinating, to demotivate other people, or maybe say bad things. In fact, social media it's one of the big things sometimes, where you find people saying stuff that are not building. They are not really inspiring stuff. They've got the power to demotivate most of the people. So, but that is not what we want. We want to learn how to manage our emotions, because if we can manage our emotions, that means we gain control. But the moment we start losing our emotions, the moment we start giving this power, the moment we start giving away our emotional control, that means we give our control to other people, and they will use it. They are not gonna play with you. They will use it to your advantage. So why not learn how to manage our emotions so that we remain in control? All right, building better habits. Another chapter in my book where I talk about winning habits. Very, very important that we teach our children on, making sure that they build the winning habits. Because my belief is that today's habits has got the power to affect your tomorrow. So we have to make sure that they build good habits today, so that their tomorrow is quite good. Right? Yeah, it's positive, inspiring, and because there's power in habits. Some of the things that I'm talking about in my book, by the way. Right, so let's move. So all of this is more because of you want to become the better version of yourself. Over time, you want to become the better version of yourself. You want to build personal growth. You want to be personal value. I call it the personal value. Some of the examples that I want to share with you about personal development. One of them is learning how to speak confidently. This is something that even today I'm still fighting to get it right. You probably hear sometimes I'm struggling to say certain things, but if you could hear me the last 5 years or last 10 years, I wouldn't have this video that you are seeing right now. I don't think I could have done stuff like that. In fact, I think this book here, because this is something that introduced me to start talking on the stage, start talking to people, which is something that I couldn't do before. I had this massive self-doubt while I was still in tertiary many years ago. But right now, because of the things that I've been doing, my work, it has actually introduced me to not really caring about what other people are saying about how I speak or my language and all that. But the key thing is the message. Right now, I'm certain that even though I'm struggling there and there, but you can hear me clearly. Learning how to speak confidently, it's key. So something that, in fact, our children right now, because of most of them, they go to multiracial schools. They are being taught by the English people, so their English is usually on point. So let's encourage them to use the power of the language, the power of how they speak, the power of communication. Right? Learn how to speak confidently. That is another part of personal development. Reading one book a month. Yes, this one I know most of the people they struggle with. Sometimes I usually say, even if you can read just for 30 minutes a day, even 15 minutes, but we need to change the environment that we live in. Let's surround ourselves with books. You can see behind me, I've got books here. There's one from Mr. Darren August, my partner. A teacher changed my life. This is one book. If you're a teacher, maybe you want to get yourself this book. And or maybe if you know a teacher and you want to inspire, or maybe you just want to learn more about the teachers, teaching and teachers. It's a very, very powerful book, Mr. Darren. And again, while we are still there, if let's say you want to write your own book, maybe you have an idea or maybe you have a desire to have your own book, don't be shy. I'm working with Mr. Darren directly. His company is called Inspired Publishing. So I'm so grateful to have been partnered with them and working with them directly. So if you want to have your own book, if you have an idea, you have a story, you have a wisdom, you want to package it well in the form of a book, don't be shy. There's a link in the description below. Simply click on that link and book a call with me, and let me see if I can help you to get your book out there in the world, because it's very, very important. Our generation is waiting for that book. All right, let's move on. And then practicing gratitude every morning. This is very, very powerful, because my belief is that gratefulness has got the power to overcome. If you want to overcome, maybe you are having a sad day, maybe things are not going well, but the moment you can start thinking about one or two things that you are grateful for, because gratitude has got the power to defeat negative emotions, because it's impossible to be sad and grateful at the same time. Maybe you can try it right now. Just think about something. Maybe you're having a bad day. Just think of something that you are grateful for. Maybe it could be your child. Maybe it could be your job. Maybe it could be the people that love you. Maybe your husband. Maybe your spouse. Maybe your wife. Maybe your mother. Maybe your parents. Maybe you're fortunate. You still have got both parents alive. Very, very something to be grateful for. And there's a lot of others. You have a roof on your head. You've got the water. You can drink water. You've got electricity. You've got gardening. You've got food. All those little things are things to be grateful for, because not everyone has got access to those things. All right. So practicing gratitude every morning. One of the things that we're covering, personal development, setting clear boundaries with your time. Some people can mess your time. Sometimes we find ourselves busy doing a lot of other stuff that are not really important. Maybe to you, they're important to other people, but not to you. But you are busy. You're all over the place trying to please everyone. Compromising your time. Sometimes you have to set clear boundaries with your time management and priority management. Very, very important. Even writing and publishing your own book, very, very key. As I spoke about it now, so don't be shy. There's a link in the description below if you want to write your own book, if you want to share your message, if you want to share your wisdom, your story with the world. Just book a call with me, so that at least I can take you through the process. I can tell you, maybe you have an idea, or you are one of those people, they sit and then they look at the paper. Maybe they've got the pen and paper like this. They are trying to write something, but nothing comes in their mind. Maybe they are just looking at the blank paper. At Inspired Publishing, we can help you move from a blank paper to a published book. I was there about 6 years ago. I know how it feels to be like that, but eventually I managed to come up with a book like this. And maybe I can challenge you, before I release, maybe before I publish my second one, at least make sure that you have your first one. All right, let's move on. I'm very, very excited. This is one of my favorite chapter and this is one of my favorite topic that I prefer and enjoy talking about. All right, so personal development is not just a quick fix, Banabeso. Parents, professionals, or youth, this is not a quick fix. It's a process. And it's a process that I love doing. You start with reading for 5 minutes a day, feeding your mind with good stuff. Chapter 4 of my book talk about feeding your mind with good stuff. And then, so it's a lifelong commitment. You have to commit yourself to learning. You have to commit yourself to growth, clarity, and purpose. If you live a life without purpose, by the way, that's chapter 1 of my book, talking about the power of having a clear purpose. Very, very important. So let me know in the comments below, what's one personal development goal? What's that one personal development goal you are working on this year, this month, or maybe even today. Share in the comments. I would love to hear. I read all the comments, by the way, so if you have that one goal that you want to share with me, that whatever that you are busy with as part of your personal development, please don't be shy. Leave a comment below for me. All right. Okay. So, and again, if you want to go deeper on this thing, please don't be shy. Subscribe for more videos to help you with to help you grow personally and professionally. Because I've got a lot of other videos that you can go and watch. Simply subscribe so that every time when I release a video, you are able to get notified to say, hey, Mr. Ntuka has just released a video, so that you can go and watch, right? And then remember, the best self, and remember your best self is waiting. So just take the first step. The most important thing is to take the first step, because your best self is waiting. We are living in those we are living in those days right now. So remember to subscribe. Remember to subscribe and like this video, so that we get more people to watch the video. And right, the last part of that I want to share with you just before I go. Again, there's a link in the description. Book a call with me. It doesn't matter. Just book a call. If let's say, but again, I must say, book a clarity call with me only if you are serious. You want to write a book, you want to maybe get the clear on stuff on how to write a book, maybe you have an idea, or maybe you just have a desire. So don't be shy. Click a link below and then let's talk about your book. Or maybe you want me to work with your child, because remember, I have a coaching program that is called the Path to Light Coaching Program, which is a 6 months coaching program. So maybe you want to know more about my coaching program, don't be shy, book a call. Again, let's talk about how I may help your child. And also you can also join my WhatsApp group, which is also in the link below for more information. Maybe you want to chat with me over WhatsApp. All right, I hope you got value on this video, my dear parents, and wherever you are, professionals, our youth, wherever you are, I hope you got value from this video about personal development, because personal development, like I say, I'm so obsessed with helping our children with their personal growth, as well as getting other people. I see myself as a wisdom and legacy mentor, making sure that we get those books out there, making sure that we get your story out there, your wisdom shared with the world in the form of a book like this, and perhaps in the form of a video like this. Alright, until I see you on another video, I hope you got value from this thing. My name is Pheello Ntuka once more, and I'm a student success coach at Inspired Publishing, something that I enjoy doing very much. That's why I keep on asking you to book a call with me. Let's talk on one-on-one, so that I can help you with your next step. Alright, until I see you on another video. Bye-bye.